Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back or for joining me. My name is Joanna and I am your intuitive medium and intuitive coach. These are going to be your readings for the month of May. I'm going to keep this very short and very brief. I want to say first and foremost, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing to my videos. Please keep in mind these are general videos, so they may not apply to you. Some parts may apply to you, sometimes the entire thing may apply to you, and sometimes none of it will apply to you, and that's okay. Do watch your rising sign, your moon sign, and your sun sign, because these will often create a much clearer picture of what's going on in your life or how it's reflected in your particular case. If you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. And always remember that if you send me an email regarding how the readings pertain to you, I have no way of knowing that until I actually connect with you when I have a session with you. So if that is what you wish, that information is down below for you. Aside from the fact that May feels very significant, but I think I always say that everything is very significant, but there are some planetary changes happening in the month of May. The planet of Uranus is entering the sign of Taurus, and with that comes significant changes for the next little while. So be prepared to shift, to change, to evolve, to become much more enlightened, and a lot of the readings do reflect that. So without further ado, thank you so much again. Let's move on to your individual readings. I will see you soon. Hello, beautiful Scorpios. This is going to be your reading for the month of May 2018. Let me start off with some information here that I received from Spirit when I was meditating on your sign. Right off the bat, number 9 comes around, which to me signifies endings. And with endings always come new beginnings. And based on the cards that I see, I can certainly see why there would be endings. But I'll expand on that in just a little while. I saw you being at crossroads. Well, that definitely depicts ending. It means we've come to a certain point of our life and we are choosing to no longer continue the way we have been going. Either it is by choice or by force, hopefully by choice more so than force. We are forced or advised to look at new ways of doing things, new ways of being, changing our focus, changing our direction. Basically, we are choosing to no longer be the same, which signifies you have to make some choices and decisions pertaining to what direction you want to take. I also saw that you were contemplating lots of different options and ideas. And it wasn't just one or two. It was several options or ideas being presented to me, and you are still in the process of research. So it feels like it's something you have been thinking about, but it's now coming closer and closer to the point where now you need to really get down to the nitty-gritty and start making some real decisions. So it's no longer just thinking, but you are still in the process of contemplating on what it is that you want to do or how you want to implement your ideas. I also saw people celebrating, and right away for some of you, you will be attending an event which will be under the umbrella of reunion or some kind of gathering. That was the proverbial 3 of Cups that was shown to me. So there's definitely a moment of celebration that awaits you, particularly in the month of May, and for some of you, June or July. So yes, this could be weddings, this could be graduations, this could be reunions, this could be anything where people gather together. But also on top of it, I felt like you were working with a group of like-minded individuals or with people who have the same goal in mind. So whether it is because you will start a new project, or you will surround yourself with like-minded individuals, or you will look to join different groups or different organizations that are of like mind, that was being shown to me, and it's a very grounding energy, so it feels very substantial to me for you. Typically this would be around work, it would be around family, it would be it's not just it's not you just going with a friend because you guys like the same type of shoe, as an example. This is something deeper. This is something that has a deeper cause behind it. So you may be venturing out to meet groups where you would be traveling together because, well, if people are of the same mind and likes, then it's nice to travel with people like that. This could also be choosing to live in an environment where you feel more like you. Perhaps where you live right now, it's a little bit too not fitting who you are any longer, or, it's not working. It could be also with finding yourself in some kind of organization that's more like a hobby or something that is outside of your work that is to do with young-minded individuals. Let me see what else I saw. Yes, okay. Reunion was shown. The other thing that was being shown here is when I saw Hermit. Sorry, I was just looking at what I wrote. I actually saw Hermit in my mind. I thought, okay, why are you showing me Hermit? And I said, okay, Hermit, what is it that you want me to know? And I heard the words, listen to yourself once in a while. And I actually kind of started to laugh because the way it was shown to me is that some of you give good advice, but perhaps you don't take this advice yourself. So that is what I was being shown. For some of you is you end up listening to other people and it almost always overrides what it is that you feel, think, or know is right for you or good for you. So I always say have support systems to support you, but don't give your power away by letting other people decide for you, because, well, then you're not living your life. You're living life based on somebody else's idea or somebody else's idea. So that was shown. The other part here of that Hermit message was many of you need to go deep inside in order to contemplate those big choices or ideas that you're about to undertake. For some of you, this is around a move, and I have a card that supports this. For some of you, this is around long distance travel or traveling for long periods of time. And it doesn't necessarily seem to be a permanent move, but there seems to be substantial amount of time spent where you're going. So it could be like a hiatus, or it could be visiting home, visiting countries, going back to your roots. There's an energy around move as well. The number 9 is kind of showing itself all over the place. Yes, September may be significant to you, but 9 is not the number of endings, which we talked about. So that, as far as the channeled message. Yes, the numbers around you are 1 and 5. So brand new beginnings and changes. Whenever we begin something new, it always signifies that we need to change. Either we change where we live, or we change how we do things, or our daily routine changes. Changes and new beginnings always go hand in hand. But the changes and new beginnings are meant for you to become much more solid within, or more balanced to whatever changes are happening in your life, or whatever choices and decisions you're making in order to start something new. It is for the greater good, in order to help you accomplish something that you've been trying to accomplish for a very, very long time. For some of you, it's securing a brand new job. For some of you, it's securing a brand new awareness. For some of you, it's securing a brand new health regimen, a partner, whatever it may be, finances. There is something, a project, there is something that has been at work for quite some time for you, especially internally, and you're about to see the fruit of your labor come to full view. And I just feel that around the corner. Now, the cards that are supporting you, or the animal totems, the animal spirit, you have the horse, one of my favorite animals of all time. Horse to me is all about freedom. It's about resilience. If you've ever sat on a horse, I don't know about you, but I felt its power and it made me literally melt. Incredible creature. Horses are also extraordinarily intuitive. The moon on his forehead, or her forehead, signifies that this is a very intuitive energy. It can see things that are not seen. And when we have a moon, nothing is as lit up as when the sun is around. So this is about believing in the unseen. This is also about freedom. And I feel like many of you need to figure out, what does freedom mean to you? Does it mean to you living in a different house? Does it mean to you having a different career? Does it mean to you not feeling a certain way? What does it mean to you? And then ask yourself the question, how can I get there? And let your intuition guide you. Hugely important. Why? Well, you've got the bat, and bat is all about transformation. So again, you're about to be born. You're about to be reborn. You're about to come out of your cocoon or your shell, or a place where you have been hiding for a very, very long time. For some of you, it's been years. And I hear the word isolation. So maybe that's also the hermit coming up and saying, hey, if you have been isolating yourself away from the world, maybe don't do that so much anymore. Life is meant to be lived, not just looked at, and whatever that means to you. So that's the animal spirit. Spirit, animal spirit. The focus cards, brilliant. You have the card, the why. This is all about understanding everything behind, understanding the reasons behind everything that you do, particularly the things that we really, really want. It was shown to me in a protective position. So a couple of messages here. During this time of change, it is important that you ask yourself some deep, deep questions. One of the things that's coming up for me to say is, example, how have I contributed to this situation? Now, it isn't from the point of view of blame, but it is from the point of view of recognizing that there is a certain mechanism that has attracted you to a particular situation, set of circumstances, individual, or a job. And when we ask ourselves those important questions, we then arrive at a point where things become available to us in order to help us see, so that we can start looking at things in a different way. And because you're going through because the bat represents transformation, and I said you're about to be reborn, chances are, if we have done things the same old way over and over and we got a certain result, if we keep on doing the same thing the same old way, chances are we'll get the same old result, which we don't want. So this is about making sure that you understand what drives you, what fuels you, what is important to you, and what truly matters to you. And a lot of it has to do with freedom. Because it was shown to me in reverse, it's saying, if you are stuck somewhere in a situation and you kind of feel helpless, denying how do I say this? Let me just see how I can say this in a most appropriate manner. Not wanting to understand yourself does not get you off the hook. What do I mean by that? I'm going to see if I can get an example. Okay, let's say somebody is in a situation and they're in this relationship, and the relationship is kind of, let's say, abusive. Let's say mentally abusive. Could be anywhere, but let's just say it's not working. And the person keeps being in that relationship, and they keep complaining over and over and over and over and over and over. And they always ask for guidance. People say, well, you should do this. And the person does the same thing and over. And the person keeps herself or himself in this constant internal prison. And this card in reverse basically says, you may not like where you are, but try to understand what in you has attracted the situation. Now, I can hear already some people saying, wait a minute, they're protesting. I am not insinuating that if something bad happened to you, you deserve it, or you somehow attracted it. Generally speaking, yes, our belief system will attract certain situations, but please don't misunderstand me by saying that if something happened horrible to somebody, that you somehow attracted it. That is not what I mean. There's a very subtle difference. This is about attracting abundance, attracting lovers, and if we attract a shitty lover, for example, well, then, and if it happens more than one, and if it perpetuates, then chances are something within us says you deserve it, or you feel this is the only option you have, not logically but subconsciously. So that's an example. The next point of focus you have is clean it up. And this is about making sure that you don't clean up other people's business. So if you are someone who takes care of other people and you constantly try to fix their problem, don't do that. Why? Because it robs them of valuable lessons, and it robs you of your valuable energy. So this is about cleaning up your own stuff, cleaning up your own backyard, and letting others do their work for themselves. Now, I'm not suggesting that there isn't such thing as help. Absolutely. But when you surround yourself with people that constantly need you, and you're constantly doing their work for them, whether solving their problems or giving them money all the time or constantly supporting them, and they're just not making a change, then they're really not looking for help. They're looking for you to fix their world. And as you know, and as everybody knows, we cannot fix anything or anyone. The only thing we can fix is ourselves. So this is about being mindful where you put your energy, particularly if you are used to overgiving yourself by solving other people's problems, because that makes you somehow feel needed, important, loved, all the other things that we need in order to survive. So that's one of the messages. The next focus is between two worlds. This is signifying that, yes, in fact, you are going from one point of being to another point of being, or another way of being. But because it's shown to me in reverse, it's saying here, yes, there is no guarantees. All you have to do is trust. Like the horse that's very intuitive. Trust your inner promptings. You are about to be born. So this is about no guarantees. And also, if you had certain ideas about your future and you have certain ways it has to look to you, chances are it may not show up itself to you just as you have imagined. But it doesn't mean it won't show up to you in a good way. It may just show up to you in a different way. So the part of the message here is that I want to say is, be mindful of your expectations and see if you can broaden your expectations a little. Have a goal, know what it feels like, but how it comes to you, in what package or in what body for that matter, it may come in a different package. So if you are expecting something this way and you're not able to see here, you will miss it. So that's another point that they want you to focus on. Now, I asked for 3 cards that represent your life in May. You have the World, which is the World. It's interesting because I was looking at it and I thought that it was Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, but you have the World in reverse. There is definitely an ending of a chapter. There's no question about it. It may not... There's a couple of things. It may not go as you would have liked. Remember, no guarantees. So that's one. And doesn't mean anything bad. It just means things will turn out, but maybe in a different form. So, broaden your expectations. But the other part of this message is that for some of you, there is a need for you to move on, and perhaps you're reluctant to do so. This card to me represents move. I also feel that some of you need to move. Different location, different home, different surroundings, different jobs, different apartment, whatever it is, but there is this reluctance to wanting to stay in the same old way. Remember, if you do not pay attention as to why you are where you are, particularly if you don't like it, just because you don't want to pay attention doesn't mean you're off the hook. In other words, it's in your best interest to figure out, why am I where I am? And if there was anything that I could do to make a change, what would that be? And nobody in the world is going to say nothing. I will not believe that for a second, because there is at least one thing that we can change, and that is how we choose to look at a situation. And our perceptions will change also what we attract. So that is one of the things that's coming up with the World in reverse. The next card you have is Ace of Wands in reverse. So there's definitely a brand new beginning. However, I feel that you are not clear yet exactly on what that is. But remember, we're talking about you weighing different options and ideas and trying to figure out what that is for you. So in this position, it's just showing me that, number one, you may feel restless. Your focus may not be there, but there is definitely a new beginning. And your focus may not be there because you are going through some changes and massive transformations. And when that happens, I always say it's like wearing blindfolders and you can't see. And the only way to move forward is through feeling it out, which again is intuition. So all this is saying to me is that there's definitely new beginnings, particularly in your thought pattern and belief system. But you may feel slightly off kilter in a month of May. And I also, in a month of May. And I also feel like very quickly, I want to say part of June, maybe July, there is this wave of stuff coming to you, and I feel like you're going to be very busy. This wave feels almost overwhelming, so this could be a brand new energy coming and you're not expecting it. It's nothing bad, but it is this could be work that you will be getting. This could be just a very busy time of the year for you, where you are flooded with maybe a whole bunch of information or inspiration. But I do see there's a change approaching. And last but not least, you have the Four of Swords. And this is about, well, getting a mental break. So if you have a whole bunch of choices and decisions, or if you are sitting on trying to make a firm decision or choice, maybe the month of May was not the best time to make that choice of decision if you can help it. And if that's the case, take some time out. I feel that your mind needs rest. Well, this is very obvious. For some of you, this is need to sleep. For some of you, it's the need to relax, being taken care of. Just doing things that make you happy and not trying to figure out everything all at once. I asked for one more card. Well, got the Ace of Swords again, or Ace of Air. There is a brand new beginning just around the corner. There may be some challenges around it. There may be some changes around it. Change always signifies, or new beginnings always signify change. But all of these are leading you to brand new way of feeling about yourself, and therefore how you show up to the world and how the world shows up for you. There's a theme with these readings this month, and it is all focused on shift of consciousness, and each sign got different bits from different areas, but it's consistent. So I want to say this is a great time for you to come up with some ingenious solutions to certain problems or challenges you've had. It is also a time for you to dust yourself off, and maybe because some of you have been stuck for a while and now there's this air of fresh energy coming through and making you feel like I'm just about to be born again. Again, you have the bat. Bat is all about transformation. So see the bat moving into the light. It's about to be transformed. The red here I want to pay attention to signifies the first chakra, which is all about safety, stability. So what I want to say here is a lot of it is to do with how you express yourself, and maybe some fears around your finances or just safety and security, emotionally speaking. So if that is the case for you, it would be important for you to address the reasons why. Okay? When we understand the reason why, we can then go about it to make it better, to work with it. If we have no awareness, we cannot possibly make a change. And then he showed me the number 11, which is all about fairness, justice. It's all about balance. So at the end of the day, this is moving you to a much more stable and balanced self within, and that's where it all begins. It's also about fairness. Whatever you're going through, whatever you have been going through, if there is a legal matter, things will turn out to be balanced once again. Things will rebalance themselves. Okay? And then I'm seeing the number 6, which is all nurturing, but maybe this will be more apparent to you in June. But May definitely feels like a bit of a push forward. I hope this made sense. Makes no sense to me. And if it does make sense, if you would like to comment, I would love to read it. Thank you so much for sharing, for liking, for subscribing, for commenting. I always say, without you, I wouldn't do this. I wish you a wonderful month of May for private sessions, because this is general. If you would like to know how this connects with your life, that information is down below. You can connect with me, and I will be honored to have a session with you. Thank you once again. I wish you best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you in June. Take care.